Everyone in the Bay Area needs water. How it's provided to them varies from county to county, where each locale has different resources. In the South Bay, the Santa Clara Valley Water District, also known as Valley Water, serves 2 million residents.
Our experts are saying climate change and extreme weather may be a regular part of our life, and we're seeing it in the headlines everywhere. What Valley Water's doing is we are preparing, we are asking folks to conserve.
Gray water is a sustainable way to reuse water. There's a wide variety of ways that you can do that.
But it's gonna take all the effort of the community for us to get through this moment and future moments. Valley Water manages 10 dams and reservoirs. We have 4 treatment plants. 3 of those are supplied by the reservoirs. And then we manage 150 miles of large diameter pipe. We were in extreme drought. That was a very severe stage. We're now in exceptional drought, the highest and most severe stage. So we're getting an A+ in drought for sure. It's been the driest year since 1977. Our rainfall's been the lowest it's been in a long time, and our reservoir levels are also at an all-time low. When you see reservoirs this low, it's just a place where we need to be concerned.
In June, the Valley Water Board declared a water shortage emergency, impacting the way their customers, municipalities, and retail water companies can do business.
San Jose has been thinking about water conservation for many years. We're a retailer, so we deliver water to residents, businesses, etc. And the 2 other retailers in San Jose Water Company and Great Oaks Water Company also participate. The Santa Clara Valley Water District and the SFPUC are both wholesalers, and so we buy our supply from them. The hardest part of that is Santa Clara Valley Water District has to have water to sell us.
Reservoirs like Lexington have multiple uses and multiple benefits. We use it to provide water to San Jose. Seeing Lexington now, it should tell how serious of a situation we're in. Just a couple years ago, it was a lot more full than this. Just seeing Lexington like this gives us an example of how bad it can be.
Luckily, the water district has other resources. Groundwater is one.
Groundwater is like a reservoir under our feet. It is actually our largest reservoir. More than half of our water stored in the county is stored underground in our groundwater aquifers. And the way we get water into those underground aquifers is through our percolation ponds that are spread out throughout the county. And then that water is able to be pumped out by us and our retailers.
The San Jose Municipal Water System, as all the retailers in San Jose, operate groundwater wells. So groundwater wells is the typical way we would get our water supply. It's very local, it's very sustainable if it's managed correctly. And so we're monitoring and measuring water supply and making sure we're not allowing that groundwater to get too low. And we do operate several wells, and that helps supplement or avoid having to pull water from the Delta.
To augment local sources, Santa Clara County relies heavily on water brought in from other places. Half of the county's water is imported from federal, state, and Hetch Hetchy water systems. It arrives via an extensive water infrastructure.
For a long time, we've had agreements in which we get allocated resources for us. But the conditions that we're in today, we're not the only straw in that glass. So our allocations as we speak have been severely cut for good reasons.
When you go down near that outlet tunnel and you see that water coming out, I mean, it just shows the power, A, of water, and B, how much water can be stored in Anderson when it's full.
Far from full now, Valley Water's main holding tank for imported water, Anderson Dam, has been forced to close for earthquake retrofit. Construction will take 10 years.
The Federal Energy Regulatory Commission ordered us to drain Anderson back in February of 2020. And by December, we were all the way down to 3% of capacity. Very important because when we get water from outside of the county, like we do, we can't store it at Anderson. And so we have to rely on that water from the outside to be delivered directly. So we don't have that extra bank for the water there at Anderson while we're building it.
Given these circumstances, the conservation of water has become so important that it is considered an actual supply source.
Since the water emergency condition was declared, we've asked folks for a 15% reduction from the 2019 levels.
The city of San Jose sets the rules for our own city. If your address is even, you can water on these days. If it's odd, you can water on those days. In San Jose, you always have to ask for water at a restaurant, and you always have limitations on when and how you can water.
We have a hotline out there for us to respond to leaks or water wasting that may be happening in the community.
Và lắp đặt hệ thống tưới nước hiệu quả. Valley Water có thể giúp cung cấp tài nguyên.
We make sure that we have a multilingual campaign.
Tôi đã tăng gấp.
Visite watersavings.org para comenzar a ahorrar.
Our informational ads, information on rebates, that people have access to.
Carla, the Conscious Conservationist, has teamed up with Valley Water to share some tips with us today.
Carla, the Conservationist, is really a target toward kids. We find that in homes. It's often the kid coming to mom and dad saying, hey, are we doing enough for the drought? They'll tell you what you're doing wrong and they don't have any problem saying it.
In our last real drought, just a couple years ago, we asked our community to conserve close to 30% per capita, and they achieved that.
Instead of a bath, think about taking a 5-minute shower.
It's going to take the cooperation of the entire county, of everyone, every drop for us to save. So we're excited about that, but we got a long way to go.